Subtle, understated, and possibly underappreciated, King of the Hill was a show with a lot of heart that found humour in mundane situations while still producing laugh-out-loud moments through its collection of eccentric characters. One of the greatest adult animated shows of all time, it's hard to find a bad episode of King of the Hill. But what about the show's best episodes? I thought this list would be easy, but narrowing it down to 10 episodes was extremely difficult, with lots of great episodes not making the cut. Of course, the list is subjective, and I'd love to hear in the comment section if there are any episodes you felt should have made the list. So let's take a look at King of the Hill's 10 best episodes. At number 10, Peggy's Headache. When Peggy begins to experience headaches, she visits John Redcorn for treatment, much to the displeasure of Hank, who fears John Redcorn will treat Peggy's headache in the same way he treats Nancy's. The affair between Nancy and John Redcorn had been a theme from the beginning of the series, although this was the first episode when any character actually mentions it directly.
I've known Dale and Nancy for years, and they have a fair book marriage.
Shut up, Bill.
Peggy is shocked and embarrassed when she discovers that she was the only person who didn't realise what was going on, and that John Redcorn is in fact Joseph's biological father. Disgusted that Dale's friends and neighbours have turned a blind eye for so many years, she plans to tell him the truth, before changing her mind when she considers the impact it might have on Dale's relationship with Joseph.
Can't watch Encino Man without milk balls, huh?
Thanks, Dad!
At number 9, Love Hurts and So Does Art. When a New York-style deli opens at the Ireland Mall, Bobby develops a taste for chopped liver and becomes addicted to the deli food, resulting in him developing a case of gout. This naturally shocks Hank and Peggy, but doesn't seem to bother Bobby, who can see the positives.
Does it come with a hat?
As Bobby embraces the life of organ meats and riding around on a mobility scooter, he neglects Connie and chooses not to take her to the dance, before finally seeing the error of his ways, and in a sweet ending to the episode pushes through the pain to make it to the dance and be with Connie. The episode also features a funny bee story where Hank is mortified to discover that a picture of his beef-congested colon is being used as part of an art exhibition. At number 8, Keeping Up With Our Joneses. King of the Hill was definitely finding its feet in its first season, but this episode had elements of everything that would be so great about the show. When Hank catches Bobby and Joseph smoking, he makes Bobby smoke an entire carton, hoping it will put him off smoking for life. However, he slips back into an old habit by smoking one himself, and by the end of the evening, both him and Bobby are addicted. This leads to Peggy lighting up at Hank as they relive their younger days, and soon the entire Hill family are full-blown smokers. As the family try and fail to kick the habit together, they end up brawling over the last cigarette in the house, and as a storm hits Ireland, Luann becomes the voice of reason, locking the 3 family members in a room together and insisting she won't see the family torn apart like her own. At number 7, I Don't Want to Wait for Our Lives to Be Over. Airing during the show's 5th season, I Don't Want to Wait is a coming-of-age story that only a show with the heart of King of the Hill can do so well. When Joseph returns from summer camp having hit puberty and grown 6 inches, it leaves Bobby feeling left behind and frustrated that, despite approaching his 13th birthday, both Joseph and Connie have reached puberty before him. Meanwhile, Joseph struggles with the changes to his body and temperament and wishes he could go back to the way he was. The episode does a great job of capturing the pre-teen angst from the perspective of all 3 characters, and it's a great example of those character-driven plots that King of the Hill done so well. After Bobby sees Connie kiss Joseph, and Joseph tries to kiss Min, all 3 end up in Dale's dead bug truck, making it down the street before crashing into a lamppost.
My Bugabago! What evil hath been wrought to befall this upon me?
At number 6, Soldier of Misfortune. Some of King of the Hill's best episodes are those that centre around Dale Gribble and his ability to create chaotic situations, usually stemming from a wild conspiracy theory. In Soldier of Misfortune, Dale loses his role as the gun club president after accidentally firing a weapon in the clubhouse, leading to a stage of heavy depression. To try and restore his confidence, Hank takes on the guise of a Mr. Big and sends Dale on a simple mission of retrieving a bag from the bus station. With Dale being Dale, this simple task eventually leads to a hostage situation, as well as one of the most memorable moments in the show's history.
Pocket sand!
The episode finishes with one of Dale's better moments as he manages to mastermind a scheme involving a large delivery of roses that convinces the members of the gun club that he's a CIA agent and helps to restore him to the role of gun club president. At number 5, A Beer Can Named Desire. Airing in season 4, A Beer Can Named Desire is a really fun episode which sheds some light on the family history of Bill Dotrieve. After Hank wins an Alamo beer competition that allows him to choose to either throw a football through a hole in a giant beer can for $1 million or have the sure thing of Don Meredith throw for him for $100,000, the family, along with Bill, Dale and Boomhauer, head for New Orleans to attend the Saints-Cowboys football game. On the way, they stay at Bill's relative's house, where Mr. Dotrieve becomes the focus of attention for 3 widows. At the game, Hank eventually opts for the sure thing of having Don Meredith throw for him, only for his weak effort to miss the target, much to Hank's frustration. It's fun to see Bill end the episode with something of a positive outcome, and we also get to hear him speak fluent Cajun French.
Je m'appelle Bill Dotrieve, je garde pour ma tante Esme Dotrieve.
As usual, Bobby claims most of the episode's funny moments, after being influenced by Bill's cousin Robert.
I do believe I'll give room service a jangle and have them send up some etouffee.
At number 4, Aisle 8A. Many of King of the Hill's most memorable episodes involve the uptight Hank being put in situations which make him feel uncomfortable. And never is Hank more uncomfortable than in Aisle 8A. When Con and Min leave town for a conference in Hawaii, they reluctantly leave Connie to stay with the Hills. When Connie gets her first period, the only person there to help is Hank. Despite it being an awkward situation for both Connie and Hank, they manage to get through, with Hank even reluctantly going down the dreaded Aisle 8A to help Connie purchase the correct products. It's a sweet episode that deals with a subject matter rarely seen in a family-centred show, and Hank managing to be there for Connie is a nice moment in the show's history. At number 3, Returning Japanese. No list of King of the Hill's best episodes would be complete without at least one episode focusing on Cotton Hill. Technically a 2-part episode, Returning Japanese delves into Cotton's past more than any episode before or after. In just about every episode Cotton appears in, he reminds anyone who'll listen that he killed 50 Japanese soldiers during World War II. So to see him go back to Japan, and to do so in the name of love, was a big surprise. The premise of seeing the Hill family travel to the other side of the world and a completely different culture also makes for a great episode. After the Hills arrive in Japan, they manage to locate the address of Michiko, the lady Cotton fell in love with during the war. And there they discover that Cotton has a 3rd son, Hank's half-brother Junichiro. As the episode progresses, Junichiro appears to be almost a Japanese version of Hank, with a similarly uptight personality and almost identical in appearance. Despite cultural differences, the 2 brothers eventually bond over a beer and their shared passion for their respective professions, propane and robots. And in the scene when Cotton eventually decides to accept an award from the Emperor of Japan, it feels like he's made peace with his complicated past in the country. At number 2, Bobby Goes Nuts. Although not at the top of the list, Bobby Goes Nuts is arguably the episode with the most laugh-out-loud moments. And bizarrely, just about all of them involve somebody being kicked in the groin. After Bobby gets beaten up, Hank suggests he goes to the local YMCA to learn self-defense. However, when all the boxing classes are booked up, he ends up taking a women's self-defense course and learns the ancient art of kicking someone in the groin. This leads to Bobby getting in trouble at school when he continues to put his new skills to good use. And when Hank tries to teach Bobby how to defend himself using his fists, he falls victim to Bobby's low blow.
You left yourself open, Dad.
On paper, the episode's premise probably sounds ridiculous, but it really is one of the show's funniest, and it lives on through memes of one of the show's most memorable lines.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
At number 1, A Firefighting We Will Go. One of King of the Hill's more light-hearted episodes, A Firefighting We Will Go is just a fun episode from start to finish. It opens with Hank, Dale, Bill and Boomhauer being interrogated by Ireland's fire chief, and slowly the story works back and forth through flashbacks to reveal the reason. When Ireland's fire department goes on strike, Hank, Dale, Bill and Boomhauer sign up as volunteer firefighters, and this goes as badly as you would expect, with Hank the only member of the group taking his role seriously. They bumble from one disaster to another until it's eventually revealed that the reason for the group being interrogated is that they've managed to cause Ireland's fire station to burn to the ground. There's so much to love about this episode, from the absolute chaos that the gang manages to cause in their short stint as firefighters, to the dynamic of the serious Hank trying his best to hold everything together in the face of the incompetence of his 3 friends, is just hilarious. It's just a great episode from start to finish, with the highlight for me being the sequence where each of the guys gives their own recollection of what happens just before the fire at the station, including Boomhauer's account, where his speech is clear and coherent, and everyone else speaks, well, Boomhauer.
Yeah, tell you what, a dang old detector man talk about government take away freedom of smoke. Man, tell you what, a dang old yo, man, get.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, man, the dang old boy ain't right, man. I'm gonna talk about no kicking them dang old ass, man. I don't take.
For God's sakes, Hank, act like an adult, man. And keep it down, guys, will you?
Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments section if there's any episodes you thought should have been on the list, and don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow.